The mistake was asking.
Yeah. Hi, everybody. Welcome to the RV Women Hangout. And just so that you know, I spoke with Nana's Joy a few minutes ago, and she is enjoying a wonderful cold beverage sitting at, I want to say she said, the north rim of the Grand Canyon. And she is having some internet issues in that she is unable to, you know, participate this week. And at the Grand Canyon, there's probably, you know, one tower and it's probably 30 miles away. And so I totally get the fact that she's having, you know, difficulty. Anyway, we have one whole viewer, but for those of you who watch this later, I'm just going to continue on. The reason that I chose maintenance for today's topic is because I was going to go to the beach yesterday in my RV and got behind the wheel and turned on the ignition to hear click, 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 click. Now, as you recall, well, maybe you don't. When I was traveling west, I had a battery issue when I was in Flagstaff, Arizona. And so my battery was dead. So I got the battery started, figured that it would charge and just be fine. But, you know, this is an issue that I don't want to have as an issue. So I'm just going to go buy a new battery. And this is for the engine. This is the engine's battery. This is not the house batteries. And so after we get done here, yes, I'm going to go to Wally World and I will be picking up a new battery. And I'm going to the beach tomorrow. But the thing that I realized that I really have no idea how to do is to, other than the battery just, you know, I mean, I put a charger on it, but the little nubby things that are the charger ports, if you will, aren't very big. And I wasn't sure that I was really getting the clamps for the battery charger on them well enough. And so what I did today was I took the battery out of the RV and clamped those, you know, the battery charger clampy things onto the battery really well to see if I could get it to charge that way, because all my batteries are very tight. I mean, there's like this much space between them, and that space is only between them because there are posts that hold the batteries in place, keep them from shifting. And so that's the only reason why there's any space in between them. I really don't know how to test to see if a battery is any good. Anybody know how to do that? Hi, Tony. How are you? I have no idea how to do that other than you take the battery to some place and then they test it. How do they do that? I've never paid attention to that. You know, I've always been in the position of the battery's dead, just go buy a new battery.
We have a battery out in the garage, but I don't know. I mean, you plug it in and it like measures each cell, and then it says how much power is in each cell, but it's just called a battery tester.
Yeah, so maybe that's what they have, and I've simply never paid attention to how they were doing it, because I don't know how they were doing it.
Yeah, because you can have a battery and not all the cells are working. So, you know, that's, I think, the way I understand from the way that's, you know, the battery tester has been explained to me.
But anyway, they're $100, and definitely I could use $100 worth of peace of mind. And so I'm just going to drop a new battery in it. I've had this RV for 2.5 years, and the batteries weren't new when I got the RV. So Watching in my new RV. I forgot, Tony. You have to tell us all about it. If I send you a link, will you come on so that you can tell us all about your, new RV?
Just
yeah, do that. Or maybe next week you could do that. And so we could find out everything there is to know about your new RV. I think that's fun. I think it's exciting. Let's see, what else is going on? So I have to do that. I mean, I'm going to do that today because I want to spend a couple of days down at the beach. You can take them to AutoZone and they can test your battery. Yeah, I get that, but how do they do that? I don't know. In about 10 minutes. What happens in about 10 minutes? Can you come on in 10 minutes? Because I have to send you the link or you can't get on. And in order for me to do that, and I think I have your email address actually. Let me think about that for a minute. Let me go over here for a minute. Okay, so the other things, I mean, maintenance is just an ongoing, mess. And okay, I'm checking to see, Tony, if I have, and I'm sure I do. I'm sure it's over here. The things that have to be done. Here you are. Oh, no, that's somebody else. Oh, there you are. Okay. Okay, there you are. Okay, Tony, what I'm going to do is send you, I want to copy that. I'm going to send you the link so that you can participate on video. How do you feel about that? Oh, I need this to be up here. Okay, paste. Okay. So I'm going to put the subject in there, RV Women Hangout for today, 9/28/17. Okay, now let me go over here. And let me go over here. I've got zillions of windows open right now. Okay, and I'm just going to send you the link, Tony. And then if you want to come on, that'd be awesome. If you don't want to, totally get that too. Because it is, but I really, really want to hear about your new RV. Pictures, oh, well, you can't really do pictures, but pictures would be great too. Okay, so let's close that. That's good. Okay, I'm back. I like your new haircut. Looks very nice. Thank you. What I was doing is kind of, go get new charger. I don't know. In about 10 minutes. Okay. Basically, when I went to have it done, I said I wanted to look like, or I wanted the same haircut as that woman whose name I can't think of right now.
British.
British, yeah. What's her name?
Yeah.
Man, we went through this last week too. Anyway, she always plays Queen Victoria.
Yeah, hang on.
God, what is her name? Google it.
British actress.
Queen Victoria.
Mm-hmm.
Google it, please. Anyway, and then of course I colored it.
Judi Dench.
And what? I'm sorry.
Judi Dench.
Yeah, Judi Dench. I wanted my hair to look kind of like hers, and so I thought they did a pretty decent job. But then I colored it myself, and I always color my hair all the time. And I really kind of like this cut. So yeah, it's fun. It's easy. And what's really great is when I wake up in the morning, it pretty much looks just like this. It's fabulous. Takes like 2 minutes to dry. It's fabulous. But yeah, I'm really, really happy with the way that it turned out. And I was afraid it was going, I mean, and I've said this before, I've always wanted to shave my head, but now I'm too old, so I can't do that. And, I was probably too old 20 years ago to do it. And that's when I should have done it. But, then I'll just look like I'm going through chemo or something. And that would just be in the front to everybody who's ever had to or lost their hair because they had to do chemo. So that's why I wouldn't do that. But thank you, Nancy, for telling me that you like my new haircut. I like it too. Let's see, other maintenance things. One of the hardest things that I have trouble with, and I have a Class A. Okay, so it's the big hallway, and it's keeping the windows clean. Anybody got any ideas about that? This is making me crazy. If the inside is clean, the outside is filthy. And I would really like to know if somebody knows a really easy way other than squirt, 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 wipe, wipe, wipe to get the windows cleaned, both inside and out. And that's something that, you need to take care of. It's like in this RV, the draperies that, shield, everybody's vision from the inside of the RV. I don't want the windows to be dirty and have those Freddie beans and have the fabric touch dirty windows. I just don't want that to happen. And so, I'm always constantly like cleaning the windows. What's that about? Okay, so Freddie Beans. I don't know if Freddie Beans is a guy or not. So I'm going to say this to you, Freddie Beans. In the event that you are a man, this is the RV Women Hangout, and we don't, you can stay in the comment section and, comment and ask any questions that you want. Our topic is RVing. Our subtopic, if you will, is maintenance. How do you do that? How do you take care of your RV? What do you do? Stuff like that. And if in the event that you need to turn your attention to some kind of vulgarity, pile of stuff in your head, I will delete you. And not only that, YouTube has made it real easy for me in that I set, just FYI, I set the parameters for words that I find unacceptable. And so what it does is it doesn't eliminate those contacts or that comment until I delete it. But what it does is it holds it so nobody can see it. And so last week's RV Women Hangout was the first time that actually came in handy. So yeah, it was kind of interesting. Oh my goodness, I'm so sorry. I have an RV. Oh, good. And was very interested in some, and you are being very rude. Sorry, I'll leave. Now, some guys take offense to this. If you are a guy, we do have men that come to the RV Women Hangout, and thank goodness, because they have some really great ideas. But oftentimes what happens is that guys come on, it's very sad for, the male, whatever, to have some guys just like ruin it for everybody. But, I don't really mean to be rude. Some people think I'm being rude, and I'm really not. I'm just trying to protect the content of what we're doing here and not let it slide down that slippery slope into troll fest. So no, if you have, if you're still there, if you have questions, comments, if you want to tell us about your RV, we're real interested in knowing, RVing is what we do. Some of us are single women out there, solo travelers. Oh, here's Tony. There's Tony. Hello.
Hello.
And this is Tony. She is going to tell us about the new to her RV that they have just taken possession of. What, last weekend was it? Tony? 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 Okay. Am I the only one talking? Am I the only one that's frozen?
No.
Buffy, am I frozen? Are you frozen?
Yeah. Yeah, she's frozen.
She's frozen. Okay, Tony, you're frozen.
I'm here. I had two things going at once.
Oh, I know. And you have to, if you're going to watch the comments on a separate page, you have to mute that separate page so that it doesn't play on the page that you're on now. This is really, really confusing. I get that.
So, I'm seeing my picture. I don't know if you see my face or not.
I do. I do. I see your picture. And that's fine.
How do you put your face on?
I think you have to move your cursor up to the top of the page, and then it'll say Google, and it'll have a bunch of settings up there.
Oh, gotcha.
You know, and you can turn the camera on, turn the camera off. Sometimes you have to actually click on settings and tell it which camera you're using. If you're using more than one, like that's what I have two cameras that I can use. I'm using one, obviously. But the camera on my computer is kind of crappy. So I just use, it's a Logitech or whatever.
Well, nothing seems to be happening, so.
Okay, well, that's okay. Tell us about your RV.
Well, so before I met my fairly new husband, I had a little Airstream Caravel that was 18 feet that I bought a number of years ago. And anyway, with the two of us, we decided it wasn't going to be big enough, and also wanted to be self-contained. We're looking at Class C's, and of course, the older ones were affordable, not the new ones. So, but they were all basically crap when we went to look at them. And just happened to go look at and we're in New England, so you don't have as many of them around like you do out west. So, went 2 towns over, looked at this Fleetwood Flare, 26 feet, which was a little bit bigger than I wanted to go because of the whole national park thing, but you know, I'm over that. And it was great. I mean, typical of something that's a 1990, you know, it's not perfect, but they'd gotten rid of the old nasty 80s/90s RV fabric. And, you know, done a little painting, and we're going to do some stuff to the outside, but hey, it's great. We were happy, except for maybe the 460 engine, which is a Ford.
The 460 was a good engine.
Yeah. Well, you know, when we went to just take out the small loan that we needed to, the loan officer, who was a very nice lady, said, "So is there anything else I can do for you?" And my husband, whose name is Will, said, "Yeah, how about a pacemaker to go with it? Because this is kind of my thing, not his."
Oh, okay.
But he's being a good sport.
I would say the 460 engine is really good. I'd rather have a Ford 460 than what I've got, which is a Chevy. Oh crap! Now I can't remember. But I think that Ford made a great engine.
Yeah.
And
I think it was the size of it that flipped him out, you know, the thought of 7 miles to the gallon or what have you. But
you know, it depends on how much weight you're going to put in that RV.
Yes.
If
and not be lead-footed.
Yeah. You know, set the cruise control and you'll get 10, 11 miles to the gallon.
Yeah. And I was looking at the floor plans of your Brave and this one, they're not unlike at all, except this does have a rear twin, you know, which it'll either be okay or we'll work around it, you know.
I would love to have a twin. We should trade.
Yeah. And it has 57,000 miles, so it's been used, you know, which is good. It's better to have a few miles.
Yeah, the engine's like, you know, just broken in, basically.
Yeah.
I'm looking at Red's comment. Red One, she says she has a 460 with banks. Yeah, drag race for sure.
Yeah.
These are really, I mean, they are big, powerful engines.
Yeah.
Now, did the person that you bought it from maintain it really well?
They only had it 6 months, but the guy was a long haul truck driver, and so he was very good about the maintenance. And unfortunately, they had a family member become ill, had to go live with a parent, so that's why they let it go. But before it had an owner that had it for probably 15 years. And yeah, I do have all the maintenance stuff. And the other thing
Nice.
that's cool about this is it doesn't have a big dog house. It's flat in between, so you can just lift the cover up for the engine.
Yeah, mine doesn't have a big doghouse either.
Oh, it
Like
doesn't.
on the Class C's.
Yeah.
Class C's have an enormous doghouse.
Yeah.
But mine is, you know, it's just like another step. You know, it's
Yeah.
like I step up two, and, you know, behind the driver's seat I go.
Well,
And
I've just completely redone the rear bedroom. I'm doing the curtains because I sew a lot, and staying with kind of the bright colors. So I will be unveiling it all at some point on our Yankee Clipper, which is what our website is going to be, and our other stuff. So being from the Northeast and being boat oriented, we had to keep with that old good Yankee Clipper theme.
yeah. Hi, Rosie O'Kelly. How are you? I know you're well. I just wanted to say hi because I just saw that she's on here. Now, are you going to tow a vehicle? Are you going to get it towed, or do you have one?
I don't think we are, just because of the size. We're going to try to avoid it. My husband, part of the deal is when we do this is that he is a knife maker, a custom knife maker, and he makes forges stuff. And we are actually going to get another little vintage camper that's about 16 feet, and he's going to have a mobile forge in the back of it that he can work out of. And then I'm going to do my artsy fartsy stuff that I do.
Yeah. You know, those enclosed, I don't know what they are, cargo trailers.
Yeah, cargo trailers. Yeah.
You know, they're really super well made.
Yeah.
And want to, instead of going the vintage route, go that route.
Yeah.
And you can pick them up used, but you know, because, or pick up a who are those people who rent them?
Oh, U-Haul.
Like Ryder.
Yeah, U-Haul.
U-Haul, that's what I was thinking of. You know, because they retire them after a certain amount of time. And you might want to look and see if you can find something there.
Yeah, he just needs to be able to stand up in it because to do his forge work. Needs to be tall enough to stand in.
How tall is he?
Oh, he's 5'10". Okay.
6'5". Okay. It's gonna be hard.
I don't know. Something will sort itself out when the time comes. That's
Dreaming of RVing. Yes, we can see you. Okay. I just wanted to let her know. Those cargo trailers.
I just turned the camera on by accident.
Oh, there you go. Okay.
There I am in all my glory.
Yeah, you know, it's Thursday afternoon. How good do you have to look? You know what am I saying? You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
I don't either. I don't know why people care. I really don't.
I guess I could put my hair in the same direction, but
no, forget it. It's fine. The so what year is your Class A?
1990.
1990. Okay, mine's a Okay, it's either a 98 or a 99. I never do remember.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think you
but
said
I
it was
still,
a 97 at one point. Doesn't matter.
no,
What's 1 or
it's
2
either a
years?
90. I just had to pull the registration out. It's kind of a long story. Oh, let me tell you this. This is actually a good story. Okay. Some of us as full-time RVers, we have our, state of record, oftentimes very far away from where we actually are when it's time to renew. And for some of us, we have to smog our vehicles. Now, this year, of course, I was in North Carolina and I had to smog the RV. What they offer in the state of California, and I can only assume that it happens every place else, is that you fill out a form and you mail it to them along with your registration fees and stuff like that. I mean, I paid that online, but I mailed this form, which they of course lost, but long story. And what they do is they waive the smog certification for you for that year. And when I was speaking to DMV, and when I say speaking, I mean yelling at them, they said, because I said, well, I'll be back in a few months, thinking I was going to get here around November, I can go and have it smogged then. And the guy said, no, don't even bother. It'll just confuse us even more, which they are very confused. And it just skips. So in the event that your vehicle is carrying tags from a place you're from whatever state and you have to get a smog, and it's just not working out for you and your vehicle is out of state, that form is generally available in the state of California. It's available online. You print it, fill it out, and mail it. And they waive for that year your smog requirement. Yay! So
I'm in Maine, so we don't worry about it up here, but this RV originated in San Diego.
Oh, really?
Camping World. Wherever there's a Camping World up around there.
There is, I think there's just one. It's up in the North County of San Diego.
I'm pretty sure it said San Diego, yeah.
Yeah,
back in
there
1990.
I mean, when you get down into San Diego proper, I don't think you can throw a stone without hitting an RV dealership. We have them all. La Mesa RV, we have them all. And
now you have to pack a lunch and a dinner to get to one here.
And an overnight bag. Let's see. Somebody asked, Dreaming of RVing asked, how much you paid for it.
For this one?
Totally up to you whether or not you want to answer that question.
$95.
Okay, $95.
Yeah.
Okay, you're gonna die when I tell you how much I paid for this one.
Probably 8 or 9 more.
10.
Yeah.
10. They asked 12. I paid them 10. And it's currently, because I check on NADA.com, NADA. I call it NADA.
Yeah.
Okay. And I think it's sitting at about $12,500 for this RV. So.
And this one was for the year too, about $10,500. So.
Yeah.
I was surprised.
And I think it depends on where you are as well, what your zip code is.
Exactly.
Yeah, because where you are, they are scarce subsequently, probably more in demand than in Southern California, where you can be very choosy because, and this is going to sound really horrible for me to say it out loud, there are RV owners here who park their RVs and live in their houses, they condos or whatever, and they park in the places where you park RVs, and they're dying every day.
Yeah.
And so those RVs are just getting, the kids are coming to figure out the estate or whatever, and it's just like, I just want to get rid of it. I just want to get rid of it.
Yeah.
And they don't know how to drive it. They don't want it. They're not interested. They're from Chicago, whatever the case may be. So Let's see.
Well, up here
Dreaming
they've usually staying out in the back 40 under 8 feet of snow, and then somebody decides to get rid of them.
I saw a lot of RVs rotting in pastures in the east.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not going to pick specifically on North Carolina.
Right.
It amazed me, but it also amazed me how quickly my RV started rusting there, not to mention the mildew and whatever. I want a 26 Winnebago. Dreaming of RVing wants a 26-foot Winnebago Vista. I don't know what a Vista is. I think they all look the same. And then I was watching some gal's channel the other day, and they have a Class A. And she said, it's like driving a hallway. And I thought, that is so classic, because that's what it's like. It's like you're driving a hallway. But aren't the windows fabulous? Don't you just love like sitting there and looking out the window and everything's there? It's enormous.
This has great windows in it.
It really does. And that was my motivation. I mean, I had a couple of motivations, but that was to move to a Class A. That was really a motivation that I had, was to have these enormous windows. And I've already had them replaced. So were your windshields cracked at all?
No.
Nice. Okay.
Right. All the windows, no, none of the window seals are bad. The roof has a complete new skin on it.
Nice.
Nice. There's a couple little punky places in the walls that my husband will fix. Nothing huge.
Yeah.
But otherwise, we're going to scrub down all the fiberglass and wax it, and the stripes, the decals are actually, we're going to redo. The bigger part of them will be navy blue, and then the small ones will be red. Yeah. So we're going to keep it kind of a little bit of a patriotic color on there.
Is the side of yours, is that fiberglass?
Yeah, this one's a fiberglass one.
I don't know what mine is, honestly. I mean, I know what the bumpers are.
No, yours is probably fiberglass too. Most all of them weren't aluminum.
Okay, see, I don't know. Funny how tastes vary. I started out in a vintage GMC. I don't know why people buy those. Then went to a camper van, then found my ultimate happiness in a small utility van. Well, Rosie, you're not doing this full time, are you? You know, why do I think that you live in a house, condo, apartment in San Francisco and you do not, you know, that you just go out for like weekend trips or a couple weeks or a month at a time, something like that? We had the side hallway, though, made a big difference. We had the side hallway. It does make a big difference, you know, to have it so that you do that little jig-jogged, you know, and it's usually when the shower and the bathroom are together. I like having them separate. In the Class C that I had, Patches, the bathroom and the shower were separate, and I liked that. Now in this Class A Brave, the shower and the bath and the toilet, you know, the whole thing is just like one bathroom. We had a 37.5-foot, where did I know? No, I mean, okay, Dawn, been there, done that. Loved it. Floor plan was amazing. Loved the interior. Yeah. Yeah, 26
It's like
feet.
driving the QE2.
Yeah. Well, you know, 26 feet, I really think the ideal footage for a single person is 30 feet. You know, it sounds really weird, but I want those extra 4 feet.
You're going to gain another 4 when you get another one?
Well, no, because really what I want to do is go to a diesel pusher. And so it will be 36 feet or whatever, you know, 40 feet. It's going to be big. And that's okay too, because it'll probably be the last RV that I ever buy. And so I'm okay with having it bigger than I need. And plus, my grandson will be getting older. And if my daughter and son-in-law trust me, Not holding my breath on that. You know, they may let me take him with me for a few adventures.
My
So
grandkids couldn't get far enough away from their iPads to go camping.
Well,
they'd have like child withdrawal or whatever.
Yeah. Class A's, I don't know why people are afraid of Class A's, of driving them. They're actually really fun to drive, and you can, I mean, not that I'm an aggressive driver. I am kind of an aggressive driver. You know, me, that horn, it should just be glued to my hand, because when these little cars are pulling out in front of me and whatnot, I'm just like, bam, on it. And I've actually considered getting, you know, the really loud horns that are really scary, and mounting those underneath the front area so that they really blast right in the ears of little car drivers, because those are the people who pull out in front of me. And
don't you remember, did you watch RV with Robin Williams and the ones in the bus that was done over that had the funky horn in it? That movie was hysterical. Oh my God, that was hysterical.
Well, the first RV that I had that my brother stole, it had two sets of horns. One set was just like that regular beeping traffic horn, and then the other one sat up on top, and they were like semi-truck horns. You know, that's when you really, really wanted to get somebody's attention. And, you know, I want those because I want to scare these people. I want to scare them bad. And I do. I want to scare them bad. I'm actually thinking about getting those like spiky, you know, things that you put on your wheels that go around and they're all spiky. Yeah, I'm thinking about getting those. But I always get so close to the curb that I'd be just knocking them off left and right anyway. Air horns on the roof. Yeah, air horns. That's what I want. And I want super, 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 super illegally decibeled horns. I want to blow that horn, and it's going to sound like the last coming of, or the second coming of Christ. I want a big horn. I'm like so over driving, and I don't know what makes these people do it. You know, they think we can stop, or they think that this far away from us is a good idea. Not.
I had horses for a long time and used to tow horses around, and it's the same. You know, you pull out in front of somebody that's got live things behind them that fight back, you know, and they want to get out in front of you because you might be going slow. And boy, I'll tell you,
there are many, many times that, you know, if I'm going down the road and I need to take a left-hand turn or right-hand turn or whatever, I will pull over once I've made my turn and let people pass me. You know, like especially on secondary roads, and just let them go. I'm not in that big a hurry ever, and it doesn't, you know, it doesn't matter if you are driving slow or fast. It really doesn't. These people pull out in front of you. I mean, yeah, everywhere. I was just going to pick on California drivers. I mean, I'm experiencing that now just because I'm in California, but it happened everywhere.
Massachusetts, you know, are you kidding me? Massachusetts, or they ought to just let them put them all together in one big demolition derby. My daughter lives down there, and I took care of my grandkids down there all summer, and I drove back and forth. Oh my God, you know, my blood pressure is probably than it should be every time I go down there. I did get used to it eventually, but there's no yielding, no stopping, no signals, no nothing.
I want to say that Blacktop Boondocker lives in Massachusetts, and I want to say he did a video of him driving his Class A in traffic and people pulling out in front of him.
Oh yeah,
yeah. It was just really.
Yeah, they live south of Boston, about 20 minutes, and of course you can't now. If I take off of this, I won't even be able to go through the big tunnel anymore because of the propane. So
oh yeah, Like that's going to stop you? That's not going to stop you. Do they have a sign that says if you have a propane tank, you can't come in here?
Well, no, 1.5-mile tunnel. So it's a
I've
long
gone
one.
through them. I've gone through them. I have never seen a sign that says if you have a propane tank, please pull over and turn around. You know, you just bail on through.
Yeah.
The one thing that all RV manuals say the same thing, and that is when the vehicle is moving to turn off your propane tank.
Right. Right. So
Okay.
I'm paranoid. I would turn it all off anyway.
I did when I had patches. I always turned off the propane tank. I mean, I didn't just shut off the refrigerator. I went out and turned the little, screwing thing and shut off the propane to the RV. And do I do that anymore? No, I really don't.
Yeah.
You have plenty of insurance, and when they say, gee, the propane tank started the fire, I'm going to say, gee, as I'm paying my premiums, nobody said that was a problem.
Yeah.
But,
I'll get less paranoid as time goes by.
You really do. You end up. Now, when I have my propane tank filled, I shut off everything. I shut off the refrigerator. It's a law. You're actually required to do that by law. And they're actually required to say, shut off everything that runs on propane in your RV. Yeah. So that would include like your heater and your refrigerator, and I think that's it. Yeah, I think that's it. Because, your range, your burner things, whatever that's called. I mean, mine are
pilot light.
Yeah, pilot light, and they don't have pilot lights, so there's no shutting that off. Yeah, take plenty of those, and don't buy cheap ones. Okay. Those, I could probably reach out and get one. The things that you use to light your barbecue and stuff like that, those things. Yeah, don't buy cheap ones.
The flick of the Bic.
Yeah. Get the Bics. Don't get the no-name things where they're $3 for $1 at Dollar Tree, because those things are crap. And they don't last very long. Yeah. And when I say that, I mean, you get 5 lights out of them, and I think that's about it. Let's see. Rosie O'Kelly. First, Rosie O'Kelly is going to Southern California, then Florida. Don retiring while working. Somebody's supposed to be reading these. Anything going on over there? So, have you taken a trip in your new RV yet?
No, we've had it in the driveway only about a week, but needless to say, I've been sleeping out in it.
Oh, is that fun? I know, it's so much fun.
Yeah. We'll probably get one camping trip in before fall, because we get a lot going on. With our other, our home, which is also another mobile home, which we bought to live cheaply so that we could take off and not worry about it. Yeah. And my husband's kind of tied to the little sticks and bricks because he traveled so much of his life with his work. Yeah. But I think once he gets going and actually takes off in this for winter, he'll be able to let go of the other. Winter.
Yeah, and it's so different for those people who were road warriors, back in the day or whenever. This is so different because everything that you want or need is within 26 feet.
Yeah.
It's so nice, and that there's 2 of you. You can share the driving and all of that stuff, which makes it so nice.
Well, I lived on boats for a lot of years, so this is just no different to me. It's just you're driving on a road instead of on the water, because I was a captain for 15 years, so I lived on anything from 20 to 70 feet.
Oh my gosh, I've been looking at boats.
Yeah.
I have been looking at boats, I have to admit.
Right now.
Oh my God. Well, what's really interesting is you can pretty much count Florida and Texas out. Who'd want to buy a boat from those 2 states? But yeah, I have been thinking about something that I can cruise the coastline comfortably something, I don't know, 40 feet, 45.
That's a good
But
size.
yeah, but something that I can hug the coastline and just like go all the way down to, you know, into Mexico and, you know, maybe to even South America, just on the coastline. I never want to like go out to sea. I never want to do that.
No,
But
I've been about 400 to 600 miles offshore, but I've
yeah.
sailed down to the West Indies and Antigua.
But yeah, and then take it.
Well,
I have no idea how much it costs to go through the Panama Canal, but then take it over into the Caribbean and just kind of float around the Caribbean for a while and then take it back. And
that's down in the Caribbean.
You don't sound thrilled.
Oh, well, it was a long time ago, you know, at this point in my younger days. But yeah, no, it was great when I was there. Are you kidding me? I could drink a fisherman under the table when I came home with rum, $1.75 a bottle.
But yeah, now the Caribbean's kind of a mess, so
yeah.
But yeah, I have been thinking maybe in a couple of 3 years I'll have the RV, plus I'll have the boat, and then just be able to do whatever is what I want to do at that time. Because I like the water. I enjoy water everything.
Yeah.
And
well, unfortunately, I live 4 miles from the ocean too. I think you're pretty close yourself.
Yeah.
I live about 5 minutes from the beach here too. So
yeah,
except it's colder than hell.
Yeah. I live
the
5 minutes like walking.
Yeah. It takes me 5 minutes to drive in my car.
Yeah. Well, anytime you get in your car and drive here, you can always walk it faster.
Walk it faster, yeah.
Yeah, you really can.
We're because traffic down here, so
it's just such a nightmare here. Yeah, it makes it affordable. And Rosie and Dawn are having their own little confab here. And my Johnson, you need solar if you're going to boondock. You know, it depends just on that comment. Let me just say this. It really depends on where you're going to boondock. What I discovered about being on the East Coast is big puffy clouds, lots of rain with big puffy clouds. And so if I had solar, it would have been a complete waste, or just, you know, a fight to the finish to get them in position so that I could maximize the solar whatever. And plus there are a bazillion trees, and you know, and they cast a shadow, so you would always be moving your solar panels to accommodate shadows and all that stuff. If you are, I'm going to say, west of the Rockies, solar panels are fabulous because you probably will have 300 days of sunshine, and subsequently making it ideal for solar panels. I do not have solar panels and do not anticipate getting solar panels on this RV. For me, it is simply easier to, and I've done the math, and math is not my skill, cheaper to turn on the generator that is on my RV and just charge everything up. Now, the bad part about that is that you have to listen to the generator. And mine's an Onan 4000. It's not really that loud, but there's still a vibration that's involved in that, stuff like that. I have seen videos where people talk about having solar panels and then being someplace where solar panels just do no good, and then they have nothing. So your batteries will last you for a while. That is why you use a speed charger to charge the batteries from your generator. Yeah, I get that too, that you can use a speed charger to charge up those batteries. Yeah, and you can trickle charge them, you know. if I were to get solar panels for this RV, it would be the kind that is on the really long line and, you know, 3 panels, 300 watts, and just take them and move that instead of moving the RV or climbing on the roof to reposition them or. And I really, you know, and I've said this before, I have a problem with drilling a hole in my roof. I just really have a problem with that. We carry a 2,000 watt generator, which, because you live in the Bay Area, you really need all the time, just in case there's a big earthquake. Solar suitcase, yeah, that's what they're called, 100 watt solar. And you know what? For what you're doing, Dawn, that's going to work perfectly. You know, you're probably going to have 1-2 batteries at most. You know, 300 watts is the most you're ever going to need for something like that. You know, people who are like Technomadia, you know, they need the 3,000 watts on their roof and the huge bank of batteries that are probably $10,000 worth in order to run all of the equipment and electronics and whatnot that they have. But, you know, for like me, like 300 watts would be the most I'd ever go. So, and 300 watts is what, $1,000, somewhere around there. And for 300 watts, I think it's one of those suitcases is around $1,000. And, but I don't have coffee maker, microwave, etc. My biggest pull is my furnace and my electronic charging. Yeah, and that just doesn't take very much at all. The furnace is going to suck power. There's no doubt about it. And you might want to consider, unless you're plugged into power, just getting one of those little propane gas buddies, whatever they're called, heater buddy heaters, something like that. Just the smallest one, I want to say they're $35, $40. And you can actually put that in the room that you're in and then move it to the room that you're going to, or in your case, just leave it on the floor or on the front seat or something, and it heats the space up really nicely. You know, it's especially for new RVers or people who are like, they've got a new RV and they just want to do it all. Solar's like so low on the totem pole of what I think makes for comfortable RVing for me. And I have a solar panel. I want to say it's, I don't know, it's under 100 watts, and I can basically trickle charge my batteries. And what I do with that is just one panel. I just put it in the windshield when the sun is on that side and charge stuff. And then it stores away pretty easily. Which is always a concern when you're traveling, is storage, and how much room do I have, and what do I have to eliminate in order for me to have this or that or the other thing, you know.
You can get a basic suitcase set up from Harbor Freight.
Yeah, but
are they any good?
What is that? Is it like, it's a couple $300, right, at Harbor Freight?
I think it's just a suitcase thing, a basic.
Yeah.
Couple panels, but otherwise I would go with Renogy. Renogy's,
cha-ching.
They're the best.
And cha-ching.
Yeah, it depends on what you want. I mean, you know, I've seen a 200 watt set up for like $600, which if it's, you know, and that's doable.
That doesn't include installation.
No. Well, that's what I'd have my husband doing, because he knows how to do it. But yeah, that's true. Yeah. Yeah, $249 for 100 watts. Yeah, that's what I was going to say. It's like $250. Okay. 400 or 500 watts on it. Yeah, it just really depends on where you're RVing. You know, whether or not solar is going to give you the return on your investment. And for me, everything is about return on investment. You know, you go out and you spend money on whatever, and you know, if you're just not seeing any kind of return, then what's the point? Yeah.
I mean, that's kind of the way I look at it. Everyone uses solar at quartz site. The portable panels are prime theft targets. Yeah, you know, it doesn't matter. You know, it's something that you really just have to think about for yourself and see what suits your particular need in travel or RVing or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the worst part of that. And a portable generator, always keep an eye on them. Yeah, I don't have a portable generator. I just have the Onan 4000 that is part of the RV. And so, you know, I turn it on, run it for whatever length of time I need to run it for, and charge everything up and then shut it all off. The other thing that's kind of important is for the electronics that you have, like your laptop or something like that, making sure that the batteries, like in this laptop that I'm using right now, I want to say that the battery, which probably needs to be replaced in the computer itself, and it probably costs $30, $40 to replace the battery for the computer itself. But my current one maybe lasts for 2.5 hours. And then I have to charge it up again. And that's something to consider as well when you're dealing with electronics. You know, how long does stuff last? Now, I need to go buy a new inverter. The inverter for this RV has failed, and so I need to go buy a new one. So let's see. I need a new battery. I need a new inverter. And I need something else. I can't think of what it is. Oh, yeah, I need to redo the floor. But, and actually redoing the floor is probably going to be the cheapest thing that there is, because I need that inverter. And what you have a converter and you have a inverter. And so the converter makes the, oh God, that's gone. Thread's gone. But you need a converter. It's in your RV. Without that, you're not going to be able to charge your batteries, your house batteries. The inverter is the thing that you plug electronic devices into, and then they run. So my inverter for like my television, okay, you can see my TV's right there, which I like very rarely use, and basically use it as a, you know, DVD player. But my inverter is in there and it's dead. But without the generator running, I can run the TV off the inverter. Same with that fan, same with a couple of other things. And without that inverter, then I have to turn on the generator, and actually it just becomes an extension cord. Let's see, converter takes 120 volts and has a 12 volt tap for running 12 volt stuff. Didn't I say that? Anyway, we only have a couple of minutes left in this session of the RV Women Hangout. And I want to thank everybody for coming. And I'm sorry that I, you know, insulted that guy. I feel really bad, kind of. But I've been down this road so many times since we've been doing this that the water off a duck's back at this point. Everybody thinks I'm a bitch because I won't let guys, you know, come on and show us their personal private parts. And so, or say really incredibly mean things, degrading mean things. But I know that we all want to, you know, give a moment to Hef because he died today. And when I say that, yeah, no. Is anybody else like, you know, basically what I want to say to Hef is to all the women in the world, put your clothes back on. Hef is dead.
Here's what I was saying today to somebody that asked about it. or was telling me that Hefner died, I said, I wonder if he's going to have like bunnies for his pallbearers. Because if I was Hefner, that's what I would do.
That
is have them,
so funny. He probably will.
yeah,
And
carry him to his gravesite. Hey, I mean, he's done it all. You might as well do that.
I saw somebody on Twitter and they said, and I'm probably paraphrasing here, some people comment that Hef is now in a better place. And what the comment was, yeah, I don't think so. That he has left the good place. And yeah, now he's wherever he is. Well, whatever. But anyway, thank you so much. Probably Jimmy rants. I don't know. And thanks everybody for coming, and I'll see y'all next week. And until then, smile and be brave.
Have a good one.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye.